Hello everybody and welcome back to Markers and Monsters for another Christmas bonus episode. Yep, I'm Colin, your host as always, and this time around I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to draw, so I went over to my wife and said, hey, what should I draw for a Christmas video for the channel? And without skipping a beat, she said, man-eating Christmas tree. Yep, that's why I married her. Good stuff. So I immediately loved the idea and ran with it. So as you can see here, I'm just starting the sketch out and drawing the Christmas tree. And I kind of made him kind of leaning over and kind of cartoony. Give him a little bit more life that way. And then down there, just a small crowd of people running. And the killer tree here picking people up and, yeah, eating them. Good stuff. So very simply, I started in with this after the sketch was done, as you can see there with that dark green, just to help outline what's going on, just to give me definition as to where the dark areas are, and then from there, adding in that tinsel and then all these little bulbs. This thing actually became kind of a pain in the butt to do because I had to color in around all these different areas. There's little candy canes as well that you can see there at the top, and just kind of going around all those different areas in the crowd generally made this a little bit of a longer drawing session for me. This thing, when it was all said and done, I'm getting faster with these, but this guy, when all said and done, I think was kind of getting close to about 2 hours, maybe an hour 45, so not too bad. I thought I ran out of ink, so that's what you could see. I'm actually looking now for some ink, but apparently I didn't have any in yellow green 17, so I found something else that made my Christmas list this year, that refill. But oh well, I was able to press on with what little I had left, and we'll get some more later. I usually keep a running tally of which colors I have refills for and which ones I don't. And unfortunately, that one I did not. As you can see, that's getting a little bit dried out there. There's just not as much ink in there. Now, one thing too I'd like to notice or tell you guys about is, as you can see, I filled in the mouth there in between all those fangs. I generally do not use black when I'm doing these drawings. I leave the ink to be a full black. Now that is an extremely dark gray, but it's still not quite at the black level. I've talked to other artists and painters, especially people that do oils and acrylics and stuff, and they say it's a rule for them. They never ever use black. They'll either use an extremely dark blue or green or whatever, just to add some color in. I guess I don't really have that rule. It's just I feel like black is the most permanent might be the wrong word, but it feels like if black's in an area, then I can't get a little bit of color in there, and color equals like life to me. So even if there's a hint, it doesn't pick up on the film here too well, but even if there's just a hint of color, I find that adds a lot more life into the drawing. Now the people down below I kept very simple, just for my own sake, because coloring in all kind of zippers and pockets and stuff like that would be a pain. But the other thing too is, and this is true of any drawing, is that the central part of the drawing, the part you want to stick out, the star, as it were, of the piece, you want to leave that the most detailed, and then the things that are around it, I find, keep it a little bit vague. Like these people down there, you know, they have colors and you can clearly tell they have like arms and some legs and stuff, but they're very vague and ill-defined, and that I feel allows the tree part to really shine for me. Once I start inking in the tree too, you're going to see that I'm going to spend a lot more time inking the tree than I am those people down below. Yeah, drawings like this can oftentimes take a while because if there's a lot of little detail areas to go around, like these clouds here and outlining the tree and all that, it's less just adding in nice big splotches of color in places and more detail work, and that equals more time. But even still, I really like the way this turned out, and I had a lot of fun working on this crazy killer Christmas tree. Now, I wish I could tell you guys that I normally do about, killer trees in movies and stuff, but honestly, I'm at a loss here. I've been racking my brain to think of any kind of like killer Christmas trees and stuff. There is, of course, in the one of the Doctor Who Christmas specials, the first one with David Tennant in it, there's a killer Christmas tree. It doesn't eat people, but it spins around like a buzzsaw and like busts through walls and stuff. So that's a ton of fun. There's that. There are some movies from like the Atomic Age, like the 50s, where there's a tree on like an island that comes to life and begins to eat people, but that's not a Christmas tree. That's just a weird tree legend. They have to plunge a knife into the heart that's trapped within its trunk. Great flick, but no Christmassy elements at all. And so I was thinking to myself, man, I'm sure there's been killer Christmas trees out, like Christmas trees that eat people out there. So I tried to do a little bit of research, but couldn't find anything. If you guys can think of man-eating Christmas tree movies or books or whatever, please let me know, because I would love to hear about that. That kind of stuff makes me very, very happy. All right, as you can see, the inking process is getting started, and just keeping it light and cartoony, and just adding in these areas here. Now, one thing you'll notice is down at the bottom of the, I'll call them the branch areas, like he's made of a number of segments essentially, but at the bottom of those segments I keep the inking a lot darker and the strokes just a lot more bold, as it were, and then it gets a little bit finer lines as you go up, and that just kind of helps to increase the areas of light and shadow and definition for him. One of the big challenges with something like this, like a tree that's completely green and then covered in, little details like the little Christmas bulbs and the tinsel and stuff like that, is really defining areas. Like I feel like if the colors weren't just right, with light colors on top of dark colors and warm colors on cool colors and stuff like that, then all the details would get lost. A good example of that I can think of are those eyes right there. At least in my opinion, your eyes are drawn to the eyes of the tree immediately, and that's because they're kind of that bright yellow, and it's surrounded by dark colors, and then that it's kind of a warm green, kind of a weird yellow color there too, that kind of offsets. So that really helps to sell the drawing. Now, all these people, as you can see, they're inked, but they're not. The detail is absolutely nothing like what's on the tree there with the little lights and shadows and stuff like that. It's more just the vague shapes of people. But even still, I think this came out fun. It came out really cool, and I had fun working on it. But so Christmas is rapidly approaching, guys. Just a couple more days here, and I don't know if all my viewers what you guys celebrate. You might be celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever. Whatever you guys are celebrating, I hope you're all gonna have a great holiday, and whenever you celebrate it. I don't know. This is just a great time to be with family and friends and have fun, and so whatever you're doing, I hope it's a good one. All right, let's add in the little bit of shadow to that tinsel there, and you guys have seen this a billion times, but yep, it's the old stars, and just add some more definition to those teeth. Pop in some magical stars up top, and then we'll get this sucker signed, and we'll take a look at the scan. So there's the signature, and yeah, let's look at the scan. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really like it. I really do. This was a blast. Big thanks to my wife for suggesting this. And I don't know, guys. I don't really have too much more to say on this. I did feel like I didn't have a ton to say to begin with, but what the heck, right? Thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for checking this out. And hey, I hope you guys, whatever you're doing this holiday, I hope it is flippin' awesome. And that's it for me today. We'll see you on the next episode of Markers and Monsters. Bye.